Yeah, I think names matter. If you name your kids, names matter. Names for companies matter. I'll give you an example. I am hungry and I want food. I love the name DoorDash. That's a company. And we start our show today with that. DoorDash. I am hungry and you are dashing to my door to get me food. I like that. Federal Express. I need this letter. You're running to your planes to get it to my house. Apple. Every time I think of Apple, I love apples. They're healthy, they're cold, they're fresh. Names matter. It's the first thing you think about, right? Get me food, dashing to my door. I like it. My NFL guys didn't like Lamar Jackson. Bill Polian, Hall of Famer, thought he was a receiver. He's just different, and when things are different, they are hard to get your arms around, right? But what if we change the name of the position from quarterback, and it was called playmaker? Wide receiver, running back, tight end, left guard, playmaker. Because they do take the snap 65 times a game. And they have to make plays. They have to make audibles. They have to run. They have to be able to throw. If you called the position playmaker, we would all agree Lamar Jackson's top 3 in the league. And he is winning at 81%. That is top 3 in the league. Last night he had 200 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Only 2 players in league history have done that. He is a nightmare to face because, like Kyler Murray, he is a playmaker. We just don't know what to do with different people and different experiences. That's why the name matters, because the rules now are allowing for quarterbacks to make more plays. In college, the spread offenses, college quarterbacks are making more plays. And as Bill Parcells always said, you are what college football gives you. He is a playmaker. And here's what's interesting, is that when anybody's great at one thing, I mean truly great, Lamar's legs, Lamar's speed, you don't have to be great at everything. I had a friend once go to the late Whitney Houston, a concert. I said, "Oh, how was it?" She said, "She was so boring. She just stood on stage." And I'm like, "Yeah, when you're Whitney Houston, don't dance around. Just sit there and sing because you have the greatest voice in the history of the world." She goes, "Well, she didn't move around." And I'm like, "Yeah, because she has the greatest voice in the history of the world." Like Lamar Jackson is so great at moving and making plays, he doesn't need to be Brady. Why did we not criticize Drew Brees, who was so accurate, he didn't need a big arm because he could wedge that ball in a keyhole. Peyton Manning was so smart pre-snap, his giant brain, he didn't have to have a beautiful arm. He would get people in the right position. Lamar Jackson is so gifted, so fast, he doesn't need to be Tom Brady throwing the football down the field. The other thing about Lamar is that when you are a playmaker, you create your own inertia. I'll give you an example. So let's say I told you today that Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are out next week for the Chiefs. Even with Patrick Mahomes, you'd be like, well, it's not going to be the same offense. If I told you tomorrow, yes, Stephon Diggs won't play for the Bills next week, Cole Beasley out, you'd be like, oh, well, he won't be as good. With Lamar, he lost his entire backfield a couple of weeks ago. It's like, it doesn't really matter. He had the ball 36 minutes last night because when you're a playmaker, you create your own inertia and your own momentum. That he's really not as dependent as a Brady or a Mahomes or a Josh Allen on great teammates. He creates his own plays. Just change the name of the position to playmaker, and I think we would all agree. There's just nothing on the planet that looks like that. There is. And by the way, he talked John Harbaugh into going for it on 4th down. What did he do to seal the win? He made a play. Yeah, I mean, he really controlled the game last night. 36 minutes, time of possession. So I'd like to say this about the Cowboys-Chargers game. Dallas's defense, and they deserve credit for this, because in the draft this year, they really went for defense. It does look more athletic. No question. Their secondary looks more athletic, and they did generate a very, very tasty pass rush yesterday. 9 quarterback hits, and that's Justin Herbert, who's hard to get your hands on because he can move. But the Dallas Cowboys didn't really win yesterday. The Chargers lost, and there is no franchise in the National Football League as cursed as the Chargers for the last 15 years. I'm not sure if Dallas won. The Chargers lost. The Chargers had 12 penalties. 2 of them took away touchdowns. Those are hard to get touchdowns in the NFL. Average score is like 24-20. 2 touchdowns taken away. They had multiple red zone mistakes. They missed a 44-yard field goal. They held Dak to 17 points until the final kick. No touchdowns for Dak, 237 yards, and lost at home. Think about this. Dallas does not win low-scoring games. And when I say that, I mean it literally. Dallas was 0 for 17 in the last 17 games they had played and scored fewer than 30 points. 0 for 17. And they scored 20 and beat the Chargers. Yes, there was a terrible call in the grasp. Terrible call. Justin Herbert wasn't really in the grasp. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. In the end, 12 penalties, self-inflicted. By the way, this morning, the most penalized team in the NFL through 2 games. Shocker, the Chargers. Yes, this was not a good call. But why were they back there in the first place? Because of a penalty. What the Cowboys proved yesterday, and this is really important, and Dak Prescott, I didn't think played particularly. He looked a little off all day, maybe just juxtaposed with Herbert. But there is value in this, and it's something young quarterbacks all weekend, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, Zach Wilson struggled with all weekend. And this is where Zach figured it out. Sometimes boring and efficient is good enough. Somebody should tell Zach Wilson that. What the Cowboys did yesterday was boring and efficient. They were 6 for 10 on 3rd down, better than the Chargers. 23 of 27 was Dak. Red zone, 2 for 3. Fewer penalties. That's what they did. I watched young quarterbacks all weekend, college and pro. And sometimes it is okay to live for another play, to throw it out of bounds. And I don't think Dak had his best fastball yesterday. We've all seen it, right? Like even Brady, Mahomes. There are days, there are halves, they just don't have their fastball. And Dak, I don't think, had his fastball. But he was efficient. He was kind of boring. I mean, listen, there's a lot not to like with Dallas. When your $90 million running back is clearly your second best running back, when after the first quarter you scored with that offensive talent 6 points, when your head coach, again, in a critical situation, completely whiffed with clock management. There's a lot not to like with Dallas. But Dak was boring, and Dak was efficient, and the Chargers lost that game more than the Cowboys won it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.